Hey everybody, David here, and today I want to talk about Birds of Prey and the fabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn. That is probably the only time I'm going to call that movie that, because I think really the movie should have been called Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, because the Birds of Prey are really kind of the back seat of this film. And you know what, it was to be expected, because if you watch the trailers focus very heavily on Harley Quinn, and I'm gonna say fairly so because Margot Robbie is great as this character of Harley Quinn. If you loved her in the Suicide Squad movie, which many people will say Will Smith and Margot Robbie were the two highlights of that movie, she definitely steals the show once again in this movie. And I'll say there's another character who kind of steals the show whenever he's on screen. Ewan McGregor is terrific as Black Mask. I really didn't know what to expect from his version of Black Mask. I'm very much aware of who Black Mask is. He's the most... The thing that I remember him the most in was Batman Under the Red Hood, one of the best Batman animated movies of all time, where Black Mask does play a very big role in that animated film. A little bit different from Ewan McGregor's take, but I really did like what Ewan McGregor brought to the character. He was very maniacal, but at the same time, he can be pretty chilling at times too. I thought he was he offered a great performance as the character. Along the ride, we get some other supporting characters, such as Renee Montoya, and Huntress, and Cassandra Cain, and Black Canary. I'll admit, I have been really looking forward to seeing Black Canary and the Huntress for the first time on the big screen. I'm very much aware of a lot of these characters. Renee Montoya, obviously, she was a character in Batman the Animated Series. I know she's in the comics as well, but she's a beat cop kind of character. And I thought she was a great character as well. I thought they were all cool characters. The problem with a lot of them, specifically the Huntress, I'll say, is that we don't really get much of the Huntress in this movie. When she is on screen, I'm excited and I want to see more of her, and that's the thing. I want to see more of them. And that can be taken as a good thing, because obviously if they made a sequel to Birds of Prey, hopefully they would center more on the Birds of Prey aspect, and maybe leave Harley out of it. I love Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, but I would like to see some of these other characters shine. And this movie, I think, was a great way of getting you to know who some of these characters are. And hopefully, if they do get spun off to their own film, hopefully then we will get more of them as a team the way they are supposed to be. There is a character in this movie named Cassandra Cain. She is a young girl. She's kind of like the MacGuffin in this movie. I will say that I didn't know too much about the character until someone reminded me that there is a character in the comics named Cassandra Cain, who is a Batgirl character. Not the original Batgirl. She is a Batgirl that is silent. I remembered a character like that. It's been a while since I read some Batman comics with that character. I believe she might have been in the No Man's Land storyline. I could be mixing that up. But I do remember a Batgirl character that had like a stitched up bat mask, if you will, and didn't really speak much. And when people told me that was the character, I realized, so then what was the point of calling her that character if she's not going to be like what that character should be? Are they setting her up for down the road for her character to eventually become that? Or are they just having her there as a little Easter egg? Because if that's the case, then I feel like it was a little bit of a waste. But whatever, I thought if I'm going to judge this movie as what it's being presented as, I felt it worked for the movie. And I really did grow accustomed to all these characters and their journey together and where they all end up together. and it was cool. I really liked it. I thought it was a blast. I thought I had a lot of fun with it. I'm not going to say the movie is perfect because it's not. I would say a lot of people were saying there was a lot of action in this movie. I didn't think there was as much action as I was expecting. I think the movie had more story. Now, I'll say, if you are somebody that was disappointed with Suicide Squad, this is a lot better than Suicide Squad. I've always said Suicide Squad barely has any story. This movie has a story, and it's telling its story. Whether some people think it's confusing or not is debatable. I didn't think it was as confusing or muddy as others tend to say. I followed it just fine. Yeah, it does go backward and forward a little bit once in a while, but I was okay with it. I followed it just fine. And look, as long as you come out enjoying this movie, I think a lot of people will. I think if you liked, Deadpool is a movie that a lot of people keep bringing up as something that it's relatable to, and that's probably because it's more comedic and more. It breaks the fourth wall once in a while. John Wick is what the action is compared to. I wouldn't say it's as good as John Wick's action, but it's good. It's really, when there is action, it's really cool. Yeah, I had a great time with this one, and I think if you are a fan of DC and their characters, I think you should go and check this movie out. I think it does a pretty entertaining job. Again, it's not my favorite DC film, but it's nowhere near the bottom. I'll say I'll put this movie above Suicide Squad, above Justice League, and maybe even Aquaman. I enjoyed Aquaman, but I'll probably put this one above Aquaman. I will still say I prefer Man of Steel and Batman v Superman and Wonder Woman and even Shazam a lot more. But this one is not quite there, but almost there. So I'll say it's an entertaining film, satisfying. It's a satisfying film for DC fans. If you're a fan of Harley Quinn and want to see another adventure with her, I think you're going to get the Harley Quinn movie that will satisfy you. So with that being said, I'm giving this movie a 7.5 out of 10. I had a good time, and that's what movies are supposed to do. Give you a good time and, get you off your worries. And this movie gives you some badass women doing badass things, and that's all I can ask for. So with that being said, I hope you guys go and check out this movie and tell me your thoughts about it if you want. And with that being said, I'm ending this video here. I hope you guys like this video. Please subscribe to my channel. And until next time, take care.